Hi everyone, welcome to EECS 494 Discussion 11. This is the 11th discussion, and in this, I'm going to go over the devblog portion of the P3 Alpha assignment. Essentially, now that your games are maturing, as the assignment says, we're going to ask you to put your games out in the public for people to see and try out. You're going to post every week. You're going to post your new Windows and Mac builds, and you're going to post your dev blog, your iteration.txts essentially, except kind of like written more generally for people to read. You're going to basically allow people to comment and give feedback on the game if they decide to try it out. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of scary, but I'm going to show you how you can do account creation and post your dev blogs on all of these the three places, itch.io, indiedb, and the tigsource forums. So let's start off with itch.io. Itch.io is like an indie games distribution site. It also is a place to host game jams. Um, it's a great platform. You may have used it before to download and play games. But you can post your games here, and it's pretty nice. So the first thing you're gonna do to get started, you're gonna hit register. You're gonna pick an email, pick a password. Um, you're gonna pick a username first. The email will go down here. My password manager's autofill messed that up. But the username here, I would suggest picking the name of your game studio. So example, the game studio for my EECS 494 P3 game was Deem Engine, so we chose the username DEEM. It says username already taken because we have that one, but whatever your team's studio name is, I would suggest using that if possible, if it's not taken. Pick your password, use an email address. And then you have to check off I'm interested in distributing content on itch.io so that, the website will show you stuff related to developing or showing off your games. Then you have to check I accept the terms of service and click create account. I believe it'll also ask you to verify the email you made, but that shouldn't be too bad. Once you do that, go ahead, you log in. I'm going to hit login right here. And it should take you to the dashboard here where, there's browse, there's devlogs, there's jams, there's the dashboard. Click on dashboard. This should be empty. You shouldn't see any projects in here. You're going to see a button, though, that says create new project. You click this. Oh, and I should mention this. One thing that's worth getting before you start making these dev blogs, or I guess before you start making the projects around here, is nice cover images and screenshots of your game. Because, people like to look like people, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but a lot of the times when you have so many different games to look at, people might judge the book by its cover. So if you look at how people have kind of some type of screenshot or box art with the logo and the name of the game on it, that might be similar to the type of um the cover image you might want to make. So if you look at the game, the EECS 494 P3 game from my studio, we took a screenshot from our title screen. You can see the press start to play in the bottom corner, but we also took a screenshot from where our logo shows up so that people can see kind of a screenshot of the game and a logo of it. I'd recommend having a really nice looking one so that it will draw people in. There's this thing here that says quality guidelines. These are good guidelines to take a look at and read through. I'd recommend doing that. Anyways, you pick your title. My cool game, Super Mario Bros. You can pick essentially the URL. So once you have a username, you have username.itch.io as your kind of URL space for all of your games. And then you can pick the URL that each game takes up underneath that. Get a short description going. A game about an Italian plumber. It's going to be a game. You're going to choose downloadable because you're releasing your Windows and Mac builds. We're going to put in development, no payments. You're going to upload your files here. So your Windows and Mac builds, you upload them here. Then you can describe the game. This is not where you put your dev blog. This is where you put a description of your game. My cool game is a game about Mario, a plumber. And then, something like it's a student game created by a team of 4 for EECS 494 at the University of Michigan in the fall 2020 semester. Work is in progress, so we hope you enjoy trying out what we're doing. I'm just making some random stuff in here. You can put whatever you want in here to describe your game and sell it to people. You can insert images, videos, all of that. Genre, pick the genre of your game. My game is a platformer. Tags, 2D platformer. Student game. I don't know. You can pick all these tags. You're not going to be releasing it unless you're going to release it elsewhere. You're probably not going to have these App Store links for now. You can allow comments, and you have to put it in draft mode first before you make it public. I'm going to hit save and view page. So it's going to create the draft, and now no one will really be able to see it yet. It's not public yet. But this is how you can preview how it looks like. You can click edit game, and then you can make it public and click save. And now you click view page. Now this is a public page. So if I copy this link and I go to an incognito tab, you can see this game is now public. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to delete this because I don't actually want this. But once you have your game created, the next thing you can do is click on more right here and click devlogs. Click write new post. And this is where you put your devlog. You can say, alpha release, general update or announcement. And you can attach some of the files you've uploaded already, and then you can put some content. You can be like, this week we took into account playtesting feedback, blah, blah, blah. If you want, you can insert screenshots of the stuff you worked on. Generally, when the people who are reading your devlogs, like the public, they like images. So if you want to add images, that might be something helpful, but you don't have to feel obligated to. This can just be the simple, a few paragraphs answering the questions that are required by the assignment spec. But you add that in. You can add your tags, publish date. You can add a special cover image just for this. And then you click save once you've done your blog post. So let me do a test blog post. I'll just do this and I'll click save. And now it'll show up here. You can see it's this color for me because I've customized the colors of our itch.io page for our game. So it'll match the color scheme of whatever you do, and then your blog post will show up here. And people who look at your game will be able to see the blog post for it too. This blog post is currently private, so people won't be able to see it. If I click published, then I go here, now people will be able to see it. If they scroll down, they'll see development log, and then I click alpha release, and it's here. So let me edit this post. I'm going to delete it. We don't want it. But that's how you do your dev blog post for your game on itch. You also, again, with the game page itself, you can edit all the colors. You can put a lot of work into making this look nice. If you go to view page and then you click edit theme, This is where you can change the colors and the fonts that are being used and the size, the layout of the screenshots, all of that. So, yeah, feel free to take your time making this look nice because this is kind of the way that, at least on itch, people will take a look at your game. So, yeah, that's itch. Let me check the timestamp here. About 10 minutes in. Cool. So after you post to itch.io, you'll also have indiedb. That's the second place. It's another kind of platform for indie developers to show off their games. You hit register. You're gonna put in your email, pick a username. Again, I would recommend making your username your studio's name. Because this is the username that people will see when they look at your game. Put a password, birthday, in terms of use, create the account. I believe when you create an account here, it will have to send you an email and make you verify that email. But then once you have your stuff verified, you can log in. So I'm going to log in with my Game Studio for 494's account. And once you do that, the next thing you're going to do, similar to itch, is you're going to put your game in. So you're going to go to games and you're going to click add game. When you click add game, this autofill is in case your game is on Steam. You're not going to do that. But you're going to want to have an icon and a logo for your game. These are required. So itch didn't require images for your game, but indiedb will. So you are going to have some nice like logos and, screenshots and icons and, banner images for your game. They can just be placeholders for now, but I would recommend for, I guess, professional purposes to show off to people, making these nicer, as you go down the line. Release date, you could say it's early access or, to be decided because if you don't know yet. Genre, theme, these are all, as you can imagine. You're going to pick engine Unity because, Unity. Other, you can put yourself as the thing. Publishing group, no publishing group. It's not a sequel. You can enter in tags, what else? You can pick your platforms, Windows and Mac. And then if you want, you can put a link to your itch.io game here on indiedb if you want. Then you save your game. I believe it may need to verify your game and it may take a little bit to do that, or it might automatically just get added and created. Anyways, once your game gets created, you go to your profile and you go to games, and your game will show up here. And you'll have a kind of like the summary of your game with some screenshots going on in here. And then to add your dev blog post, which again is kind of the requirement here, you're going to go to articles, and then you're going to hit this plus button here that says post article. And this will take you to the article creation page. You can put a summary of what the article is. In this article, we discuss the alpha release of our game. And then you put the actual dev blog post that you had, the same one that you made in itch, if you added images, those same images, all of that stuff. And yeah, you can save the article. When you hit save article, it will say that they need to approve the article, so it won't be public yet. However, even if it's not public, the URL for when it's in private mode and in public mode is the same URL. So even if you say make your blog post on Sunday night and it's not going to be public Monday morning when you submit your game, you can still know what the URL of the blog post is and put that in your devlog.txt and submit that to us. And then when we get around to looking at the link, it should be made public. So you should be okay with that in terms of that. So don't worry there. But like usually it'll happen overnight, and then like if you say create the blog post Sunday night, Monday morning before 11:30 a.m. your blog post should be approved, so it should be public by the time the assignment is due. But you submit your article, it'll get approved, and you know it'll show up as your whatever the title of your blog post is. It'll essentially be that turned into separated by dashes instead of spaces. Um, and you'll have your article. And that's how you will publish the article to indiedb. Uh, Also pretty straightforward. Again, like there's less customization here in terms of how the your profile, your game or your game page can look here as opposed to itch, but it is still a good place to make sure all the stuff is up to date and available. The files, make sure that you have like all of your builds uploaded, and yeah, so that's indiedb for the dev blog assignment. Final one is tigsource. So tigsource, if you're not familiar, is sort of it's a community of indie developers, just like the other two. With the forums, the TIG forums, there's kind of like a discussion board that is where the TIG source community kind of discusses. They have a specific forum page for posting devlogs, and this is where you will create your devlogs. So first things first, like with the other places, you're gonna hit register. You're gonna have to let me back out all these stuff. You're gonna pick a username. I'd pick suggest picking your studio name. Again, email, password. You're gonna have to answer these verification questions. What is Daisuke Amaya's nickname? Daisuke Amaya is, if you're not familiar, the creator of games such as Cave Story. Cave Story is a great game. Or Caro Blaster. That's another great game if you've heard of it. But Daisuke Amaya's kind of developer name is Pixel. So the secret here is Pixel. What's a volumetric pixel called? It's a voxel. Are you a spammer? No. Please read the forum rules before posting. Yes. And then you click I agree and click register. And then you will have to wait for an activation email to be sent to whatever email you chose. Once that activation email is sent and you click on it, then you can log in. So then I'm going to go ahead and log in and then go to the devlogs board. And then you're going to hit new topic. And in your new topic, the subject line will be, you can just take a look here at what other games look like on on the forums. You can see, they'll say game name dash type of game, or, game name in brackets type of game. So I'll make a new topic and I'll be Super Mario Bros. Novel 2D platforming adventure. Message icon, you can pick standard or you can choose one of these progress bars. Since we're, hopefully at around 50% or greater done with your games, you can pick one of these percentage marks to show up on the side. Again, if you look here, people choose different amounts of percentages to show up. So you can choose that, and then you can, this is kind of going to be your initial blog post of your game where you both introduce what the game is, and then you can kind of put your devlog in here as well for, this is the alpha release. These are the new changes coming in from the alpha release. You can, let's pick one of these and look through it. RTG, the ray traced game. So, this guy describes what the game is, where you can find it on other platforms, some screenshots of the game, and then makes devlog posts. So he's like, devlog 1, this is what's going on. Devlog 2, after 2 weeks, here's my update. And then you'll notice in between your dev blogs, people will comment on it. They'll be like, "Hey, this looks great," or "Looking awesome," "Looking forward to it." Um, and that's awesome. Uh, basically, you'll keep on doing your dev blog posts, commenting and replying to the same thread that you created. So this is, again, this is kind of how forums work, where you create a topic and then, all of the discussions on the topic and all of your updates on the topic all will be replies to the first post you made on the topic. So that's how you're going to go ahead and make your game as a topic and then continue replying to it. And that's where you'll also see feedback from other people if they try it out. This is also, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you can attach files here directly. I believe you can. But it might be easier for you to upload or like to share the link to your latest build from indiedb or itch.io, your Mac and Windows builds of the current release that you're writing a dev blog for, just so that you don't have to upload it a third time to here, and people still have a link to download it. But yeah, hopefully your blog post will have the same content as in the other two, itch and indiedb. And then you'll have your link to your topic, and you can post all three of these links in your devblog.txt file, and that's where we staff members will read your iteration.txts is as these devblog posts now, and that's how the rest of the world will read your iteration.txts. So it's kind of uh, an exciting time for you to have your game kind of in public eye for people to take a look at. Some tips to keep in mind. Uh, you can you can remind people, or at least like mention in your posts that this is a student game, you know, things like that, so that people are aware kind of the context around it. Um, things like that. Uh, otherwise, that's kind of an overview of how to make your dev blog posts into these three different places for your assignment. Um, are there any questions at all? I know someone joined the call while I was doing this. There are no questions. That's no problem. If you have questions, you can comment them on the YouTube video, post on Piazza, message on Discord. Happy to help. But hopefully this part of the assignment should be pretty straightforward. It can sometimes be a little confusing to figure out how to create the account, but again, hopefully you've got your accounts created already, or at least you create them today to kind of prevent the delays. Create your accounts and create your games today. Like for H.io and indiedb, create your games as soon as possible, even if you haven't written your iteration.txt blog posts yet, because indiedb might, if I remember correctly, have an approval time to approve your game and then have it posted publicly, so that by the time that the staff, by the time we get to look at your game, it will be publicly available and the link will work. So yeah, good luck this week, and we look forward to seeing your games out in the open.